It is a little bit dark. Do you need the lights, you guys think?
Backlights? Ugh.
Backlights? That actually makes it worse. Okay. Lights?
Camera.
We just saw Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Yep. And that's it. That's all we have to tell. Goodbye.
What do you think of it?
That's fine.
Yeah.
I think my main thought about this is that they did the older brother dirty.
Oh, Finn?
I don't remember anyone's names.
Well, no. The Stranger Things kid.
Yeah. They
Why?
did him dirty.
Why?
Well, because, okay, so sequels of anything always have an issue of one character not getting enough screen time or, like, having an actual, like, character development.
That was podcast this time,
in
definitely.
the sequel. No, but podcast had, like, funny moments and stuff, right?
Okay.
Like, the only thing the brother did was fail. Like,
Okay.
that's literally, like, even in, like, the end, like, oh, his close family sequence, he was just, like, there as, like, an afterthought,
yeah.
you know? Like, they really didn't treat him as an older sibling like they did in the first movie. They just treated him as, like, oh, hey, extra guy.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, sequels generally have that problem, but it just annoyed me that it was the older brother. Yeah, that's all.
So, I guess real quick, because we're kind of jumping all over the place here. I just want to say, like, a few years ago, it might have been like 4 or 5 years ago at this point.
I don't remember.
You and I sat down, we watched all the Ghostbusters.
Oh, yes. I remember that.
And Ghostbusters 1 is a masterpiece. It is a funny 80s comedy on par with something like Back to the Future.
Yes.
It's really good.
Now, I have fond memories of 2 because I watched that one first.
Yeah. Yeah. And 2 is considered generally inferior, but still a good movie. And then, there was a TV show that we didn't watch, but, like, I think there was, like, 2 cartoons. It was a really popular series in the 90s, despite being, honestly, a lot of really popular 90s series are actually in the 80s.
Yeah.
But then, the series lies dormant, and then they make Ghostbusters 2016, the reboot, which is considered
Terrible.
one of the worst movies of all time.
Well, not of all time, of the Ghostbusters.
You and I sat down and watched that one, because we watched them all in sequence, and, like, it was bad. It was bad.
It was just,
but
like...
there was a couple of funny moments.
There was a couple of funny moments.
It was like 95% awful and 5% somewhat enjoyable.
Yes.
Which is more than I thought it would be. It was still not enough to recommend. And then, but also, like, that had the massive fan backlash, because that was the first time there was actually, like, a culture war surrounding a movie on the internet, right? 2016, I know James Rolfe, the angry video game nerd, he was like, I will not watch this, I will not review it, I'm done with Hollywood remaking these movies and ruining them. And then, like, everyone's writing articles about James Rolfe trying to get him canceled. Didn't really work out.
That's stupid.
So the series goes dormant again, they kept trying to, like, push Ghostbusters, and they're still doing it with the whole ghost core thing, which I still think is not working out. But they're trying to make it like a Star Wars, where it's like a Marvel, where it's like this property that everyone loves and everyone wants to see, and it's like it was never that. It was always like a second level property.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what, I have to lock the door just in case some, like, hobos show up.
I mean, you are a hobo, so the hobos will know that the car has been claimed by a hobo already, and hopefully they'll respect the hobo squatters' rights.
But anyway, listen. Well, I'm looking at a few hobos right now.
I mean, you are a hobo.
No, them. I'm like, what are they gonna do? Okay. Anyway.
You've become more suspicious in your old age.
For a while, they were trying to push 2016 as, like, this is the new continuity, this is the new canon, these are the new Ghostbusters, get used to it. There was a sequel hook at the end of 2016. No one gave a fuck. There was articles being published for, like, 6 months after 2016 came out saying, this is the one, this is the one, this is the one. The next Ghostbusters is going to be a trilogy now. Like, you gotta get used to this. But it was so fucking hated. Ghostbusters came back, what was it, 2020, 2021?
I don't remember any of the times.
I forget.
Just say a number and
whatever.
The comments will correct us.
So, Ghostbusters comes back, and they're like, okay, we understand everything, like, we get it, we fucked up, dude, okay. And it was actually really funny, because the actresses, or one of the actresses, I think Leslie Jones, from the Ghostbusters 2016, she was like, I can't believe they're just acting like our continuity doesn't exist. And it's like, that's happened. You did it to the other guys, though. And now people are going back what they wanted. And then, like, Ghostbusters, okay, the fourth Ghostbusters movie, which is the third one in the main continuity, it, like, overcorrected, you know?
A little bit, yeah. I think, like, we both enjoyed that one, but, like, it was just like, okay, yes, this is obviously large portions of just nostalgia.
Yeah. And it's very clearly, it was very clearly trying to be like, we're sorry.
Yeah.
We're so sorry for 2016. We will give you everything you want. Now, to their credit, they decided to do something different with it because it's like it's a house, an abandoned house in the Midwest, and it's
not a horror movie house, just a regular house.
It is a horror movie house, but like there's nothing. It's not haunted. It's just like
that's what I meant.
Yeah. But it's like an old house. And the story was like a small town life, which is never what Ghostbusters was about. Ghostbusters 1 and 2, and even 2016, they were about, well, no, they're superficially about catching ghosts and going on adventures. But I mean, the first one was about being a small businessman, starting a business and...
Like, the thing that I like about Ghostbusters is the fact that, yeah, you're dealing with the regular supernatural shit that you see in other, like, supernatural and fantasy movies, but you have to deal with all the actual real-world consequences that come along with that. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why I like Ghostbusters so much, because, like, it's nice to see... Like, just, like, it makes it feel really modern, even if it's, like, you know, dated back in the 80s. But it makes it feel modern no matter what area you're in. It's like, yes, consequences for your actions of destroying buildings? Ha-ha!
Yeah. Well, it's also, like, I mean, Venkman in the original movie, he's like, oh, man, we're fighting an ancient god. He's like, yeah, whatever, am I getting paid? Like,
yep.
The four personalities of the four main guys really work together in the original movie. But what it is it is partially what you're describing, for sure. But it's also, like...
That's why I said it.
Yeah, but no, it's like, when you look at Ghostbusters, it is superficially about catching ghosts, and it's primarily about, you know, four guys getting together and starting their own business. And the ghost stuff is on top of it. But, like, the core, the way the four guys have relationships with each other, and what they're doing, and what they're trying to do, it's all about starting a business. And if you look at, what's another good example? Back to the Future, right? Like, it's about time travel. Yeah, but it's not really about time travel. It's about, like, Marty getting to know his parents, right? You look at the original Star Wars, right? It's about, like, lightsabers and space fights, but it's not really. It's about the hero's journey, right?
It's about a kid being abandoned by his shit dad.
yeah, but, like, the reason that, like, these are beloved movies, even, like, one tier down, like Ghostbusters, is because
except for Star Wars, but yeah.
Fuck you. Is because there's actually an emotional core there.
Yes.
Of real people doing real things.
Yes.
That you can actually relate to.
Yes.
And the issue is that all these new movies, like the new Star Wars and the new whatever, which is why I hope they don't fucking bring Back to the Future, but it has all the trappings. You know, it has the proton packs, and it has the ghost traps, and it has the lightsabers, it has all the stuff, but the emotional core is not there.
Yeah.
Which is why no one gave a fuck about the new Star Wars stuff.
Or 2016 Ghostbusters.
Yeah. And what's interesting is, like, this will be the last time I talk about Star Wars,
sure.
but, like...
Lies.
But, like, the stuff that people like about new Star Wars is all stuff that has an emotional core that resonates with people, right? So people like Andor, right? People liked Baylan Skoll, the villain in Ahsoka, right? Because he actually, like, he was a character with stuff going on, and he was interesting. He wasn't just like a one-dimensional fucking, you know what I mean? Like, when they have something that is real in these stories, people are attracted to them. But when it's just the lightsabers, like Obi-Wan, like, what the
that was boring.
The first episode of Obi-Wan was fun, because it's like Obi-Wan, like, being a loser, he has to, like, pull himself back up. Like, that was fun. After that, though, it was nonsense. And then they did that final, like, confrontation between Anakin and Obi-Wan again, but it was still stupid because he should have killed him, but he didn't. Like, anyway, the point is that it doesn't have the emotional core. And Ghostbusters, the fourth one, to its credit, tried to do that. Yeah. Because it brought back, now, to be fair, I feel like they should have made that movie maybe 10 years earlier than they did. Because, Jesus Christ, it was, I think, 2019 or 2021 or something. But they do this movie, and then, like, it's 40 years after the original. So now we're dealing with, like, Egon's granddaughter. Yeah. Not even with, like, Egon's daughter. Like, she's there, but she's, like whatever, right?
Well, I mean, like, that was, like, an interesting... To be fair, that was, like, they had to do it that way, but it was also, like, an interesting way to do it, because you don't usually see, like, usually it's like, oh, yes, my daughter, you must hold on to my legacy. It's like, nope, they're doing the thing where the smartness skipped a generation.
Yeah, which does happen in real life, yeah.
Yeah, like, you actually see that all the time in real life, but that's not a thing we really see in Hollywood, so, like, I'm not gonna hold that against the movie, even though they kind of had to do that.
Yeah, they had to do it.
Yeah.
But no, the Ghostbusters, like we're coming back to the original. Ghostbusters 3 we're just going to call it. Ghostbusters 3.
We're gonna call it Ghostbusters 3.
I forget if it had a subtitle.
I have no idea. It probably did.
I don't remember. But
We're
anyway.
both old men. It's fine.
Anyway, it's like mother down on her luck, father's not in the picture, daughter who like is...
Hello.
Oh, there we go. Daughter who's alienated from her.
Yeah.
Because like they're so very different. She's like the smart, like bookish daughter, and this is like the kind of like wine drinking all day mom. You know?
This is like the.
No, she was definitely that in the first movie.
No, it wasn't like wine drinking. She's like the tough love country mom who like is trying so hard to get her shit together that she's kind of run out of the emotional patience to have with her kids when she gets home.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. And Phoebe, that was her name.
Is the nerd kid.
Yep. Yeah,
As an older brother.
If I were like a young person again, I'd be like 100% into her. So I like tomboys, like smart girls, like that's my whole thing.
Yeah. She looks like she's gay though.
Yeah, it comes into this movie actually. but basically, that first movie is that third movie is them apologizing for 2016 and directly continuing the continuity.
Yeah.
Gozer comes back. The fucking ghost of Egon comes back, which is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that was a little.
Yeah, and also the way that they brought in the original cast in that movie I didn't like, because the entire movie is like Phoebe makes friends in this small town that she's been forced to live in.
Yes.
The friends are all like
weirdos.
They're all weirdos. Like there's Podcast, who's like the
Podcast
YouTuber.
is the YouTuber, and that was hilarious.
Yeah. Finn Wolfhard shows up.
Yeah.
There's the black girl, and the four of them are like they just kind of form like a kid team.
Yep.
Right, and they're like trying to figure out, the Ghostbusters. Who were they back in the day?
Wait, did you say the Stranger Things kid? He's her brother.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
No, they're like stepbrother.
Okay, fine. Yeah. I understand.
No, I said the four of them form a kid team.
No, yes, I do, but okay.
What
Never mind.
What did I miss? What?
Okay, you didn't actually miss anything, but the way you phrased that made it seem like he was just a friend that she made.
He was initially. Yeah, they were friends before the mother and the science teacher got together.
I don't remember the first movie well enough.
It doesn't matter. But the point is that they formed like a core team, and they were like looking into what the Ghostbusters did, and like, you know, what did Egon have at his old house, and like it was a whole story, and they go through the whole movie figuring things out and doing things on their own, and then in the final bit, the original Ghostbusters come back and like save the day, and it's like, well, you kind of because Gozer was there, and then like the three original Ghostbusters plus the fucking ghost of Egon, they all come back and they just do the work of defeating Gozer again, and it's like, well, you kind of took away the emotional arc of the movie because it was supposed to be the kids who do this.
Yeah, passing on the torch and stuff.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have done this without rewatching that third movie, because I don't
Well, it doesn't matter. You know, I actually, at this point, I might even do like a main channel video on this series, because I have a lot to say about it.
Sure.
But the point is though, is that in Ghostbusters 3, they get all the nostalgia aside. Mm-hmm. They get all we're rebooting the series, we have a new generation, we've passed the torch, all that's done. Mm-hmm. And now they can do a story in Frozen Empire. They can do their own story, and to their credit, they did. They didn't just bring back Gozer. They didn't bring back the guy from Ghostbusters 2. They didn't recycle anything. Like the story of this, it's just a new guy.
Yeah,
it's just a new story with like a new villain, and there's a new backstory, and they just it's kind of refreshing. Yeah. That they didn't just nostalgia. Now there was some nostalgia, but you know, you see the fire hall again, you see the car again, and. You know, the old guys come back. And you know what? The original Ghostbusters are better utilized in this.
Yeah, they are. 100%.
In the first one, they just show up and ruin it. And in this one, they're actually like, they have a role as people who have retired. And it makes sense for what they're doing. Yep. So, like, this movie, I think, is better than Ghostbusters 3.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they do continue on, I guess we're going to be spoiling things now. They continue on Phoebe's emotional arc as well, because she's a little bit older now, but she's still not 18. She still has to live up to being Egon's granddaughter.
Not really. They don't really mention that at all, honestly.
No, they do, because she has that feud with the stepfather, where she's like, you're not actually a Spengler. You're not part of this family. But I'm being benched because I'm 15. And I'm the fucking core of this whole operation here. And I'm the one who's being... And because I'm underage, you won't let me do anything.
No, yeah, I know, but they only mention it once. It's not really an arc about her being... Okay, you know what? Yeah, it doesn't matter.
See, I think it's actually a whole. That's
Okay, no, yeah,
that's
you know
her
what?
entire arc in the movie.
You know what? You're probably right, and I'm just misremembering things that I don't
Okay,
fucking
well,
remember the first
sorry, I
movie.
don't-
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Well, no, so in this movie, here, I'm just talking about this movie.
Yeah.
So basically, like, they start by busting some ghosts driving around in New York. Also, a lot of this movie seemed green screen. I have a feeling that like they only shot in New York a little bit and then just green screened the rest of it.
Probably.
They just shot like in Toronto or something.
It's probably really expensive to close down the streets and stuff, especially in New York, right?
Yeah.
So.
But they ghost bust a ghost in New York, and everyone gets mad because Phoebe's underage, and she's like, this is my family," and then the mother's like, "Well, you know what? I'm in charge," and it's like, you don't even know what any of this shit does. Like, I understand why she's mad. She's really fucking mad because she's clearly the inheritor of Egon's legacy and not her mother, clearly. But she can't do anything because she's too young. So she's benched and she's bitter about it. And then she ends up, there's like the side plot where she gets with, doesn't get with. She's angry about being benched, so she goes out in the middle of the night to play chess and by herself in the park.
In the middle of the night, where there's not really that many lights in the park, but it was fun.
Yeah, and then a ghost shows up and plays chess with her.
Who is a 16-year-old girl ghost.
Yeah, who died in a fire.
Yep.
And so they talk a bit, and I've seen some people online say that like, they're like, this wasn't a lesbian relationship yet.
Yeah, what? Who's so blind
Now listen.
that obviously that there was like the romantic tension there?
Yeah.
They could have kissed and I would have been like, there's the kiss.
They didn't kiss though.
They did not kiss.
But they're very. Phoebe was very clearly into this ghost chick. Yeah. And they have like several scenes, and like here's the thing: it's you know how it's for a while I thought they were gonna do like a Romeo and Juliet thing, where because she's a ghost and she's a Ghostbuster, and there's like the reveal of, oh, that's what you are, like there's that scene, which is pretty common in a lot of these star-crossed lover stories, and like that kind of plays out exactly how you would expect it to play out, and like things are for the most part fine.
You sighed at the other reveal though.
Yeah, what?
When she was walking down the street with all the ice, and then it was revealed that she was a double agent.
Yeah.
I just heard you go, oh.
Well, it just seems so obvious.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But yeah, so it turns out that she was in cahoots with the actual
bad evil guy.
the big bad, who was like an ice god from the ancient past, who was locked in a ball for 3,000 years. All right. Yeah, like his horn dripped off, and there was a whole thing.
Yep.
But like he due to shenanigans. Actually, no, I'll tell you about the shenanigans. That's actually important to Phoebe's story. So Phoebe is continuously rejected because she is underage and she can't ghost bust anymore. And they keep saying, "Stop fucking involving yourself. Stop it. Stop it." And that's when they have like the fight where like she fights with the. Okay, I was gonna driving by. Okay, she fights with the stepdad because she's like, "You're not even a Spengler. Like, fuck off." And he goes, "No, but I'm your stepdad. You're gonna go to your room." And like they have this thing where like he's with the permission of the mother, he's kind of putting his foot down, and she's like just rejecting it. And so she sneaks out, and she's pissed about everything. And then she meets up with the potential ghost GF, and she's like, hanging out with you is the only thing I have right now. Yep. So you know what? There's like there's some science we've been working on that I can be a ghost for 2 minutes. So you can actually like, touch each other. Yep. And the ghost girl is like, "Oh, that's a great idea." So she goes and does it, but then that ends up being the key to unleashing the ice god, because it turns out that someone needs to, a human voice needs to speak the words to open the container, but the ice god can only control ghosts, not humans. But she is a ghost separated from her body for 2 minutes. So the ghost Phoebe gets possessed, and then the human Phoebe gets passed out and starts speaking the words. Yeah, because like it counted, because like you could see like body Phoebe speaking the words, and I'm pretty sure the logic they were trying to give off was that she's like just unconscious, not dead. Yeah. So that's why this couldn't work. Yeah. But if she had actually died, it probably wouldn't have worked. Yeah. This is the loophole, basically. Yeah. Which is then that's what unleashes the ice god, and that's where the third act of the movie starts. Is the betrayal from Ghost Chick. Yeah, the ghost chick. Which, to be honest, like Phoebe never really forgives her for. Like you'd think there'd be like I understand scene at the end, but at the end, like she's looking at it pretty bitterly. She's like. Like when the ghost girl finally moves on, Phoebe has like a bitter look on her face. She's like bittersweet. Yeah, but I don't think there's any forgiveness there. I don't think so. Okay, sure. You think so? Well, tell me your opinion here. I've been blabbing for this whole thing. Tell me your opinion. I mean, I think it was more that like since Ghost Girl literally saved the day
because she was made out of fucking fire. Like, she redeemed herself in, like, everyone's eyes, but, you know, like, she died because she fulfilled whatever was keeping her here.
She passed on.
She passed on. And, like, I think it was more of a, like, you betrayed me, and, like, we don't have any time to, like, talk about it, I don't have any time to forgive you, but, like, I obviously still at least kind of care for you because you came back after saying goodbye.
Yeah. I guess.
Yeah, I think it was more of a bittersweet look than a, oh my god, I fucking hate you! You know? So.
I think it's one of those things where it's like, thank you for saving us, but I do not forgive you.
Okay, sure.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah.
You don't think so, do you?
No.
Okay, fine. That's fine. One thing I noticed about this movie, though, is that there's a lot going on in this movie.
There was a lot.
And also,
lots
of characters that just didn't fucking need to be there.
Yeah, there was little too many.
Yeah.
Little too many.
So, for example, they brought back Podcast from Ghostbusters 3.
He was funny, though. I'm glad he was
there. But, like, he had no reason to be in the story. He was there because he was in the previous movie, and that's it. When he first shows up, he's like, yeah, I told my parents I'm doing an internship, and I just decided to come and live with Ray. They just hand wave that, you know? Mm-hmm. And it's like, I guess you just got to get him in the movie because he was in the previous one.
Yeah, I think if they hadn't brought back, like, all the, like, important characters of the previous movie, then, like, it would have been a little easier to deal with. It's like, yeah, they're just hanging out in their small town. It's fine.
Yeah, why didn't they all just stay in their small town?
Yeah, I think they could have, well, obviously, because they want to do more cool things, like Ghostbusting.
Yeah.
Right? I think that, like, if they're gonna make another one, I don't know if they are, but, like, I think if they were planning
I think they want to, yeah.
on making another one, then that would have been the time to add in those extra characters.
Bring them back in, like, another movie. Like, give them one movie off and then start bringing them back in. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was fun to have podcasts there just to have him interact with the fucking Fire Master.
Yeah. No, there was some, like, he was just there as a comedy character.
Yes, he definitely was. Yeah.
He was mostly in the previous one too. Yeah. But like,
he had more substance in the previous one.
The romantic interest for the stepbrother.
Yeah.
The black chick. Mm-hmm. She comes back as like an intern with what's his name?
Winston.
Yeah. With Winston's company, right? Yeah. And she's like, oh my god, I can't believe that we're here. Their relationship's never brought up, never built upon. She's in the movie for like 4 scenes, like a few of the action scenes, and that's it.
Yeah, that's actually one of the more things, because I had totally forgotten that they were a thing together. Mm-hmm. But that's one of the things that irritated me even more about Stepbro not getting, like, any actual character development in this movie. It's like, his girlfriend is here. Why are you guys not doing anything with this?
Yeah. And yeah, that was the big issue, is that like Phoebe's clearly the core of the movie. Mm-hmm. And her relationship with the mom and the stepdad, and also with Egon, is all important. But then there's the stepbrother, he's there because the stepdad had a son, which is why he's tagging along. Mm-hmm. And the 4 of them form this family unit, but he's kind of the odd one out.
Yeah, I felt really bad for him, honestly.
He wasn't in the first, in Ghostbusters 3.
No,
he was in this one, yeah.
Yeah, no, I felt really bad for him in this one.
He has like one story arc. And the one story arc is that he finds, he basically, something starts happening in the attic. And the mother is like, he's like, something's going on in the attic. And the mom's like, you're 18 now, you're a fucking man, go deal with it. And he's like, I guess I will. So he goes up to the attic and he finds Slimer. Mm-hmm. Okay? And Slimer's the original, Slimer is the ghost from Ghostbusters 1 that everyone loved, the fan favorite, because he eats so much and he slimes everyone. Okay? And he finds Slimer. And then there's like a few scenes just intercut throughout the movie where he's just doing his own little battle with Slimer. Yep. And it's like, main plot of the movie happens. We'll cut back to him for 2 minutes, fucking around with Slimer. Then, like, another 20 minutes of main plot, and then cuts back to him. It's like, what?
Well, just to have a A, C, D, B plot.
Yeah, there's the thing. There's a lot of plots in this.
There's a lot of plots. Like, I feel like they were trying to shove a lot of stuff in there. And, like, I appreciated it. Sort of. Like, and it wasn't hard to follow along with it all either, but, like, I didn't really feel like there was too much pacing issues, except with the stepbrother. Yeah. Which is where I think they were just like, we're just gonna put all our eggs in these baskets and cut where we need to. Or we have to cut all the content of the stepbrother. Cut it.
So, like, so like, in terms of the actual plots, there is the main plot. The orb, the history of the orb, the fire master guy.
Yeah.
And
who was one of the best casting choices, by the way. I've seen him in a few things, and he always more or less plays the same guy, and sometimes his humor definitely isn't great. Whenever he's in it, it kind of takes you out of it. This was perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So here's the thing. So he plays. I forget his name. He's like an Indian comedian. He plays the same guy every time he shows up.
And anything.
And the same guy is like kind of a scummy, might pick your pocket, might steal your lunch out of the work refrigerator. He might.
He's not a great person, but he's not a bad guy. He's just like
kind of shady, but that's about it.
He's like a slight weasel,
Yeah.
just a little, and like has no ambition in life, and that's usually how that's going.
He played that same character in the Obi-Wan show too.
Yeah, no, that's just him.
Like in real life.
No, hopefully not. I'm sure he's actually a really nice person in real life. Honestly.
Well, what's really funny is like whenever fucking Ray shows up, like he just played the actor in real life.
Oh,
because what's his name again?
Ray.
No, the actor.
I don't know.
He has like a wine.
I don't know.
And he also has like the Crystal Skull vodka.
I don't know.
I'm losing my mind that I can't remember his name.
No, that's on you.
But no, like in real life, that actor.
Yeah.
He's like a crazy conspiracy theorist.
No, I know. Yeah, that's why I laughed so hard when so they were doing like a podcast, like what we're doing.
He and podcast have like a YouTube channel.
Yeah, him and podcast have a YouTube channel. And that's why I had to like stifle my laughter because the theater was full because we went early.
For once, the theater was full. Like surprise. Yeah.
We went early.
Yeah.
Not at 10 p.m. at night.
Yeah.
We went at 7. Anyway, I just stifled my laughter because I almost busted a gut laughing so hard when I saw him. And I was like, it's just him.
It's just him in real life. Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd. Ackerman's from Attack on Titan.
I don't care. I got it mostly right.
Dan Aykroyd. That's right. So yeah, like in real life, he's like a weird conspiracy theorist. And he just
retired into that after being a Ghostbuster.
He just played that character. He is him now.
Yep.
Because he and podcast have their YouTube channel, right? And he has a table, there's a bunch of books behind him, he's well dressed, he's talking about the paranormal. He looks exactly like Dan Aykroyd's actual videos online.
That was probably just a choice, and you know what? It was a good one.
Yeah, it was fucking funny.
It was a good one.
It was fucking funny. Okay, but here, so all the plot lines, right? And the plot lines in the movie. So there was the history of the ice god and like the Indian ancestors who trapped him in the ball, and then the fire master like passed down. So like that's like that's the main core plot of the movie, of the action plot, right?
Yeah.
And then there is the family stuff with Phoebe and the parents. All right, so that's the second one, and their emotional drama, right? And then like third plot is like Phoebe dealing with the ghost girl. That's the third plot. The fourth plot is podcast living in Ray's basement and what they've been up to. Okay, you're like counting them there, right? Yes, that's 4 so far. The fifth plot
is kind of what Winston's doing.
Yeah, Winston and his company. That's
like kind of related to.
Yeah, but it's its own thing for sure. Well, all these plots come together at the end.
Yeah.
So like, by the way, they do a very good job of that. Nothing's really left hanging. It all kind of comes back together.
I was surprised. Yeah. That's 5. Like, Winston and stuff.
Yeah, Winston and his company and all the new technology they're developing.
Yeah, because they're studying ghosts and stuff. We get to go on a tour of their lab.
Yeah, they have a lab, cool. And yeah. And then Finn Wolfhard's. This is now 6. Finn Wolfhard's chase with Slimer. All right, is that all of them? Surely, is there anything else? I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it. So there's 6 plots.
Those are the 6 main plots, all right? And they do all come together in the end, right? Because the ghost girl being a fire ghost, and she actually helps the fire master provide the fire to fight the ice god. And in the lab, we find the possessor ghost, and the possessor ghost is eventually eaten by Slimer when he possesses a pizza. and the possessor ghost was actually making it hard for them to fight the ice gods. They had to get rid of him, and like all the plots do come together in the end and actually work really well together. Like nothing is really wasted, but there's not enough time to give more than like 2 of these plots the attention it deserves.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
I think they should have. I think that like love interest of the stepbrothers shouldn't have been there. Podcast probably could have been left out. And, like, they probably... I think it would have been more entertaining to, like, just have that one British scientist guy just be, like, pretty much the only one in the lab doing stuff.
So, what's interesting... Well, firstly, actually, they could have given the stepbrother all of podcast stuff. And it would have worked just fine. Like if he had the hammer and he was smashing stuff, It would have been just fine.
Yeah, no, but he's supposed to be a Ghostbuster because that's the point, is that the family unit is a Ghostbuster.
No, I understand. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But, like, they could have made something work there. I feel like they could have given all of Podcast's roles in the story to him, and it would have actually made his story a lot better.
Honestly, they could have just cut out the Podcast part and just had, like, Dan Aykroyd just have, like...
A YouTube channel on his own?
Yeah, a YouTube channel on his own, but they could have had it where it's not actually doing super duper great, right?
Yeah.
So he's still running his shop and still finding spiritual items to give to Winston's company.
And then, once Finn Wolfhard helps him out with it, that's when the channel starts blowing up.
Yes.
You could bring it, yeah. So they could have done this, but also, what's really interesting to me is that British blonde scientist. I'm pretty sure he was a reference to one of the cartoon shows, because there's a cartoon show. There's a cartoon show where they have like a different set of Ghostbusters that aren't related to the original cast, and one of them is a blonde scientist guy with glasses.
Who's British?
Looks exactly like him. And I'm like, is this the same guy? Like, are they referencing it, or is it actually like the same guy in the continuity?
It's probably just a reference.
Probably just a reference.
Honestly, yeah.
Like he even had like a different jump. He had like a dark blue jumpsuit, which is what his character in the cartoon had.
I didn't even notice.
In the cartoon show, he had a dark blue jumpsuit. And
Maybe
it was
the
different.
same guy then.
It was different from every other jumpsuit. And I'm like, wow, like either that's a reference or it's the same guy.
It's probably the same guy then.
Yeah, but the cartoon show was in the 90s. He would have been a lot older. If this is in continuity,
That's okay.
they just fucking brought him out. There's like a side story where he was frozen in time for 25 years. Who knows?
Yep.
Yeah. Ghostbusters, you can do anything you want. Anyway, you know what? Pleasantly surprised. Thought it was going to be...
Thought it was gonna be a huge pile of shit, very similar to 2016. It was not. It did surprisingly okay.
I didn't think it was going to be that bad.
I did.
I thought it was going to be maybe on par with Ghostbusters 3.
But no, sequels are always worse.
Maybe a little bit worse. I didn't think it was going to be as bad as 2016. But I thought it was going to be like a slightly below average movie. And in fact, it's a slightly above average movie. So I was like, oh, I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. I was honestly just a lot more surprised about, like, how well written everything was. And, like, how, like, things just came together. Like,
Yeah.
it didn't feel like, oh yeah, this is just a modern Hollywood movie, you know? Like, there was a couple of, like, jokes that were, like, that felt really, really modern. I think...
A lot of the Patton Oswalt stuff felt like that.
Yeah. I
lot
think
of
that's
that
just
stuff.
Patton Oswalt.
Yeah, maybe. So,
I enjoy his acting, but I think
Yeah.
that's just Patton Oswalt.
you know what it is? I think it's that Ghostbusters is a comedy, so you expect some of those fourth wall breaking moments where like the tension is relieved with a joke, because it was in the original too.
Yeah.
But they didn't do it too much, because a lot of modern TV does it so inappropriately, and they did it enough, but not too much here. And it's like, you know what, I can appreciate that.
No, yeah,
You know,
it just felt like a movie, and it was nice.
You know, in the final confrontation when like everyone is frozen solid and Phoebe's like facing off against the ice god by herself, like they didn't crack a joke there. It was she was just fighting.
Like a serious moment where she almost died.
Yeah, and it's like, you know what? Okay, you actually are capable of being serious.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think that's what it is that the comedy knows when to be a comedy and the serious knows when to be the serious, and they're not, like, just throwing quips around. Like, I thought, honestly, when I saw that 16-year-old ghost girl and, like, their awkward interactions with each other, like, that was very stereotypical, like, teens kind of flirting with and crushing on each other, like, interacting. And
Yeah, it
I
was.
thought the movie was, as soon as I saw her and, like, the way she was acting, I thought the movie was gonna fall to shit.
Really?
You know? No, I did, because, like, not because of her, but because of just, like, oh, here's some of the quippiness, here's her being quirky cool, and that just means all the fucking writing's gonna go to, oh, I'm quirky, everyone's quirky, we're gonna do quirky things. But no, it didn't, and I was surprised. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because up until that point, I was just like, oh, that's okay, it's going, okay, yeah, cool. Oh, and it was the same mayor.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
The mayor from Ghostbusters 1 comes back. I think he was not the mayor back then. He was like
something else.
He was like a city commissioner or something.
Yeah, now he's a mayor.
But he comes back and he's like, I've been trying to get you Ghostbusters for 40 fucking years. He's like, really? That's all you've been doing this whole time, dude?
It's like, all right,
I mean,
Jonah Jameson.
you do realize, like at the end of the first movie, he like begrudgingly admits that the Ghostbusters saved the city, and it's like, you think you'd smarten up at this point, right? Like it's been this long.
Nah, man, they ruined public property. They gotta go down. They blasted a line in the face. They gotta go down.
Yeah, that's right. She did. Yeah.
Yeah, not a real line.
No, it's a stone lion that the possessor possessed.
Yeah.
But all in all, oh, that's right. I made a joke in the theater. At the start of the movie, they run over a bunch of those e-bikes
Yep.
in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you heard me, because we were like talking, like trying not to be too loud because the theater was packed. And I was just like I think I didn't hear half the stuff you said, and you didn't hear half the stuff that I said. But I was like, I made a joke about the black the white nurse woman fighting with a black teenager over an e-bike that happened like last summer. And I was like, this is the way to solve the e-bike problem. They just run over all the e-bikes in this. They do it several times actually. I don't know if you noticed.
Do they?
Yeah, it also happens with the lion. The lion destroys e-bikes too.
It's actually really
They're just like ruining New York City's e-bikes, dude.
Somebody has a hatred of e-bikes.
Yeah.
on the crew.
So all in all, good movie. I guess I recommend it. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I would probably watch Ghostbusters 3. I don't fucking remember the name of it now. Not 2016, the one after that.
Yep.
I'd probably watch it before you watch this one, because it is a direct sequel, and I didn't fucking remember
It is a direct
anything.
sequel.
I don't remember anything.
Like the plot picks up. It's 2 years later, but the plot picks up, and they like
time skip. Here you go.
Yep.
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 You gotta remember everyone's names. I don't remember anyone's names.
Everyone's relationships. Yeah, it's all.
Was the mom worse in this one?
No,
Yeah,
she
was the
wasn't.
same?
I think she was about the same.
Yeah, okay. Because, like, that one moment with the stepbro, I was like, listen here, you fucking bitch.
That was the only time she was actually lounging on the couch, like, drinking wine.
No, she was on her phone.
She also had wine in her hand. She was scrolling, she had like a wine glass.
That was definitely not a wine glass. I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be scotch. Or some other hard liquor.
It's alcohol is the point.
Which is why she's not a wine.
Day drinking.
Which is why she's not a wine mom. She's definitely like, that's why I use like
She's a
rough
Scotch mom?
country mom. You know, who's like work too hard during the day.
Yeah.
Not prostituting, just at a job, probably waitressing.
Yeah.
I don't remember what she did in the first movie, but you know. No.
Anyway, good movie. Above average. Not a waste of your time to go see it. It's not like super amazing, but
Yeah,
it's good.
like, I'm not sure if I would recommend going to see it in theaters. If you wanna go on like a cheap day, sure.
Yeah.
Like if you like, you know, but like, don't go and see it just because it's in theaters and it's like, oh, Ghostbusters. Like, you can just wait to, like, you know, to get it online, whatever streaming service you use.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's that. I guess I'll see you guys next time, okay?
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.